These first few images present a standard prayer room in a fellow Coptic parishioner's home. I used this room for the larger chunk of my thesis project, opting to broaden my examination of Coptic iconography. After removing the furnishing of the room and all of its lights and electrical fixtures, I composed a plan under which I would convert this room into an atmosphere for prayer and reflection. It was an objective of mine to adhere to the rigorous canons of Coptic visual tradition, while also fostering a dynamic of experimentation and research. Produced in just under 60 days, this project would entail me cutting 21 boards and installing them to fit perfectly onto the interior surface area of a 115 square foot room. Everything with the exception of the ceiling had wooden panels drilled in, and the gaps were caulked and spackled. Because of the time constraint, the designing of the room was synchronous with the installation of the boards. The entire surface area was given several coats of acrylic gesso, and the preliminary designs were laid down in ochre, refined in cadmium, and finalized in graphite or burnt umber. The walls were mostly done one at a time, in order for me to monitor what was effective and what wasn't, and to snowball my productivity with the elimination of technical obstacles that came up along the way. In Coptic iconography, the darkest colors of the painting are laid down first, followed by increasingly lighter layers of paint. This process is described as illumination in Coptic art, and it alludes to the enlightenment of the soul with the light of Christ, the primary light source for all of humanity and subsequently the icons as well. Just as in Pharaonic art, the faithful and their art were synonymous, and their art was a direct access point to the mysteries of eternal life and the divine realm. So the next step for me was to coat the entire room in this darkest coat from top to bottom and to bring it to life. The spirituality of the icon in wall painting does not merely rest in the final product, but, as experienced in the production of this room, also lies in the transformation of the space from a dark to a light atmosphere. The iconographer strives to imitate Christ as they breathe life onto the walls of the space they create, and thus the creation of the icon serves as a liturgical presentation of the Incarnation. The theme of the space is hospitality. Because it lies on a private residence, I decided to construct a narrative program that emphasizes various examples of the reception and greeting of Christ into the home and into the self. The final result is a room that aims to function as a uniting place of heaven and earth, the worldly and divine realities, the elevation of the soul into a dimension painted in a language of 2,000 years of visual tradition and orthodoxy.